Sanbonan. Yes. All protocol observed. I was co-opted into this. And as I was thinking about it, I thought actually it's not co-option. It's actually conscription. My duty is a very easy one. I need to introduce or call on stage our guest speakers for tonight, who are going to share their experiences about straddling the life of being in the church and in being in government, and how they have managed to deliver despite the internal conflicts of these institutions. And they work hard to emphasize the historical benefits that are generated by the two institutions. As we're preparing to come up from downstairs, we're given a crash course in protocol, which was very difficult to grasp. So they said, don't worry about it. Just apply a human rule. And the human rule is age before beauty. So what I'm going to do is, we have two guest speakers, Father Simangaliso Mkhatshwa and Reverend Frank Chikane. And I will start with Father Simangaliso Mkhatshwa, who is the former executive mayor of Tshwane, previously Pretoria. And there's a phrase that goes with one of the things that he did whilst he was in that position. And the phrase is, he's the black man who created all the trouble. He changed the much adored Pretoria to the much loved Tshwane. Father Mkhatshwa, you have the floor.
Program Director, Your Royal Highness, and His Majesty's Representative, Deputy Prime Minister, the Masilela family, ladies and gentlemen. Our theme this evening, Church and State, Religion and Politics. Now, I'm not going to engage in ecclesiology, the study of the church, what it means to be church in the world. That's too theoretical. Nor am I going to indulge in political theories about the theory of state and so on. I'll simply just try and complement what we have already watched on the screen by making a few, I think, important remarks. First of all, the church is not a monolithic entity, because lots of people speak about the church. There are lots of churches, different traditions, different histories, different styles of worship, rituals, and so on. But they're all churches. So for me, when we speak about the church, we ask ourselves, what is the social responsibility of this institution called the church? The institution that over the centuries has done many things, some of them very good, others rather disappointing. In fact, to be honest about it, right down bad, some of the instances and so on. So I'm not going to be talking about the social responsibility of the church in China, in Europe, United States, wherever. I'm going to confine myself to the role of this institution, especially in this region, the SADC region, but more specifically, I would say in South Africa, because that is the experience that touched me the most. So the question can be asked, why did I decide to engage in activities to address the social pathologies of the time and later social pathologies as we experience them today? First of all, I must say the kind of theoretical training that I got from the Dominican fathers, most of whom came from Oxford University and so on. They made a lot of impact on our thinking. And by the way, at that time, the late Bishop Mandlenkosi Zwane and I were contemporaries in the seminary. They taught us to think critically, not just to accept things on the face value. So when I started my ministry then, pastoral ministry in the Diocese of Witbank, I found myself working among migrant laborers, people who lived in single-sex hostels without their wives, the children, and therefore living a rather abnormal life. And that challenged me to rethink my understanding, my reading of the Bible, and what the Bible meant, not in theory, but how it applied to the lives of these men. I saw glaring poverty, unemployment, exploitation. I saw people engaging also in sort of behavior which you and I probably would disagree with, but I could understand why that was happening. These were men and women later on who had no votes. People who were subjects of job reservation. People who were victims of statutory injustice, because the apartheid system was not something accidentally. It was deliberate and well thought out. So then the question was asked, Mfundis, when you see all these social evils, what does the Bible say? And I always reminded them that, oh, by the way, looking right back to the teachings of Jesus Christ himself, the one thing that I learned was that Jesus Christ did not only address issues of spirituality or morality in a very narrow sense of the word. Yes, he did that. Prayer, meditation, and so on. Sermons to address the spiritual health of the people. But he went beyond that. When people were hungry, he made sure there was bread. Of course, he had the power to multiply bread. Gave them fish. When they were sick, he healed them. When there was tension and discrimination against especially the poor, he always stood with the poor and the disadvantaged. When there were blatant lies, he had the courage to stand up and correct that, the wrong. When people died, he was there for them. But he also said something very interesting to his disciples. He said, if you want to be great, in other words, if you want to be a leader, you must be willing to be a servant. You must humble yourself. And that's what is going to make you great. He also, which was very important for me, if you read the Gospel of St. Matthew, for instance, 25, that when you die, Jesus is not going to be asking you how often you prayed, how often you went to the physical church building, but he's going to ask you, when people were hungry, when people visited your house, your family, when people were in prison, what did you do? Very interesting to me, very practical things to which many of us would relate. So then after I was appointed Secretary General of the Southern African Catholic Bishops' Conference, I then had an opportunity also to run a parish, at the same time. It was a very interesting experience for me, because to begin with, I was not even allowed to live in the same house with the person who was then the Secretary General of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, because I was black, dark. And after many years also of engaging in political struggles together with the people, I was then banished to a house. That's how I landed in social movement. I didn't choose that house. I was just taken there and I was banished in a house, arrested for 7.5 years. And I won't go into the details of what actually happened when one was arrested and blindfolded and chained and handcuffed and all the rest of it, and so on and so on and so on. You can read that probably in the information book published by the TRC. What actually happened in detail, you can read that. It's documented, so I won't waste your time talking about that. What I'm merely saying, I'm referring to some of these incidents to actually show that to be in the struggle was not easy. But also to be in the struggle as a priest had its own dangers as well. Not always physical dangers, but the real risk of being rejected by the people. But we spend most of the time in prison. But those people, I must confess, I salute them. They stood by me for 18 years. We struggled together with them before I was elected to Parliament. They stood by me. We marched together against the evil system of apartheid. We helped to find financial assistance, especially via the Bishops' Conference, to give legal assistance to those who had been arrested and who had been charged either for treason or for whatever crimes were trumped up. So then, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is not really an evening to go into all sorts of litanies about what happened. I thought, though, that I would want to make reference to the Kairos document. Now, the Kairos document was produced by a number of very progressive and critical-minded theologians from various churches, especially churches, Chicane will remember, who were members of the ecumenical movement, which at that time was very vibrant, in South Africa. So these guys got together and said, we appreciate the statements that our churches have made. Great. We appreciate also even the sermons that many of them preached against apartheid. But what probably still needs to be done, though, is to try and identify the root causes of the evil that has engulfed us. And after a lot of research and discussion, we then published this booklet called the Kairos Document. It identified, when it looked at the theology of the day, it identified 3 types of theologies. One was state theology, and the state theology was especially propagated by the Dutch Reformed Church, which was apartheid at prayer, as some people used to say. So in other words, to find biblical justification for the system of apartheid. The second type of theology was church theology. The church theology tended to be critical, yes, but in rather general terms, without going too deep into the specific nature and causes of the evil of apartheid. And then the third one was called prophetic theology. And that's where then lots of the more, if you like, probably more militant, more vibrantly vibrant opponents of apartheid, they subscribed to that. And it was very close or almost similar to liberation theology or black theology. Except for one thing, that although it borrowed something from liberation theology, Latin America, and so on and so on, but this was typically a South African product. So I'm therefore suggesting, ladies and gentlemen, that as we speak about the churches, we also then have got to remember the contribution, physical contribution that the churches made. Schools, universities, healthcare facilities and provisions of health, and usually of a very high quality. So for that reason, therefore, I think we also need to remember that the church made a contribution and will continue to do so. And that as we listen to the Zondo Commission, we cannot as a church going to say, we are the salt of the earth, we are the light of the world, we are the leaven of society, unless we actually participate in all the struggle for social justice, especially, in favor of the poor, the hungry, and the people that are usually despised. So for me, therefore, that's what it means to be church, and will continue, I'm sure, doing so. And those of us will take over from us, hopefully will continue on that journey. Thank you very much.